Sorry about number 2. I mean, part 2. Number 2 sounds gross. So anyway, she did a talk, again, you know, how your body changes and how to, I think the title of the talk was How to Get Fit After 40. So everyone's like, excuse me? A lot of what she was talking about is kind of the stuff where I was, you know, I have to be honest, again, I'm not saying it's wrong, but it was the whole, you have to eat breakfast, you have to eat 5 meals a day, you have to have protein. So I was kind of like respectfully going like this, but in my head going, so you guys know where I am on that. I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying for me, it made me insane, worrying about all these rules. And she was talking about several rules where I was like, okay. But it was interesting because she was talking about how and why our bodies change, right? And sometimes it's hard to understand, but you guys, I told you that I was always, when I was younger, rolling my eyes at women that would say, oh yeah, once you hit 40, it's gonna go crazy. I'm like, give me a break. People said that to me about 30 and nothing happened. There is a big difference when your body starts to change, especially when you're going through menopause, perimenopause, and I at 40, so I was 40 when it happened, I'm 41 now, you know, I'm in perimenopause. They say that, for those of you that don't know, if you've never had kids, thank God, never had kids, you tend to go into perimenopause earlier. Perimenopause is essentially when your reproductive stuff is starting to shut down, right? So when you're younger and your estrogen is working, I'm trying to make this as simple as possible, but she really made it make sense. Your estrogen is getting your body in shape to essentially be ready to carry a baby. Okay, that's why you tend to gain weight in your butt and your thighs, right? And then what happens is when your estrogen drops and you're no longer, you know, preparing to carry a baby, you start to all of a sudden get fat in areas that you've never had it before. So instead of becoming that pear shape where it's all in your butt and your thighs, then you almost start to, a lot of women start to morph into more of an apple shape where all of your weight is around your middle. What did I tell you guys happened to me? All of a sudden, I had fat around my torso and I had fat around my lower tummy. And she said, you know, she's talked to doctors and scientists and whatever, and you know, all women start to get the same symptoms or characteristics the same way. And remember I told you with that one, it was actually one of the More magazines where the editor was like, you know, all of a sudden, you know, one day for her it was like 42. And her metabolism totally changed. She was gaining weight rapidly, where before she could eat whatever she wants, all of a sudden now she has to eat a lot less, she has to consistently work out. Your body, it sucks. But young girls out there, young girls that are reading this blog, be prepared. I wish that I would have been prepared, because probably over the last year when I was going through all the maddening medicinal issues and problems, medical problems, I would have paid a lot more close attention. What's done is done, okay? That's all in the back. I don't look back. And I figured out what I need to do for my body now, but it's pretty interesting to understand what's happening and why it happens. I mean, it's, in a way, in a small way, it's beyond your control in that it's just your body changing, but it's not beyond your control because you just have to understand. Here's what happens. So again, I could go on and on and on. There's a list of hundreds of amazingly fit women in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. You've just got to figure out how you're going to deal with it. You know, you don't just give in and say, okay, decide I'm just going to be a lard ass the rest of my life. Speaking of, hello, OMG, that's all I have to say. Okay, I always knew that she was a badass. Seriously, this woman, and she's so like totally down to earth. She was the keynote speaker in the morning, and I had to buy this book. Not because, you know, this whole idea, a 5-week program, you know, I'm not hearing it, but what was interesting is part of her talk, and we were actually sharing, she talked for like a really long time, but she talks very down to earth, but it was more like, instead of, you know, I hear a lot of speakers, I'm a speaker, instead of it being like a speech, you know, that has kind of a beginning and an end, she was just like telling her story, and it was very long. We were all listening and it was all cool, but it's just very more conversational. So she was talking about, you know, going back to the Olympics when she was 41 and yada, yada, yada. But I'm gonna have to look back in here some of the details, and I hope I can put up some of the video that they showed, because I know that we were all like, she was talking about how she used to always train before her comeback, before she decided she was gonna do her comeback, and how she trained totally differently. With the swimming, with the nutrition, and with her trainer. And it was funny because she talked to a couple of things that I kept going, you know, in her own way, she's reached that epiphany that I reached, which is, you know, she kept saying all things in moderation. And she's like, look, you know what, I'm not gonna lie. She said, I have McDonald's, I have Rice Krispie treats or whatever. She goes, I just balance it out with everything else I'm doing. And she's like, you know, I just try to do good most of the time and balance everything out. She also talked about how when she was training before, when she was younger, that when she'd go in the gym, she was always training heavy weights. Again, people, I'm not saying that she nor I are saying that's bad, because quite frankly, I've been thinking lately how I really want to get my gym membership back again, because I love everything I do here. I miss a lot of the machines. Like, my shirt's crooked. I'm missing a lot of my machines and the things that I can do really heavy training, because I like doing a whole variety of things. What I really like now, I know I'm digressing, but you guys are used to it, is doing all kinds of stuff, you know, doing something like this, and then, you know, doing insanity, doing kettlebells, you know, maybe, I really don't see myself ever doing treadmill or that kind of stuff. Doing, you know, really light weights and just killer repetitions where you're screaming in agony to stop, and then heavy weights, and then Tabata. And I mean, mixing all this stuff up and your body never has any idea what's coming, okay? She was talking about how, and again, I'm hoping I can throw up some examples. She was saying, when she started working with this different trainer for her comeback, so this is when she's older, he's like, we're gonna do a lot of stability work, a lot of core work on the ball, and light weights. And she goes, you know, she said that she was kind of like, you know, 2-pound weights, 3-pound weights. She said she was doing just continual repetitions with 2 or 3-pound weights, and it totally ripped her body up. She didn't say, I don't think she was necessarily saying like, oh, this is so much better, I would never go back and do heavy. She was basically saying that she was doing less overall, and I don't think the numbers, I'm just giving you, this is an example. This is not necessarily what she said, but it was essentially like, hey, before I was working out 6 days a week, now I'm working out 4 days a week. Before I was working out 2 hours a day, now I'm working out an hour and 15 minutes every day. And then again, she said she was much more different with her diet, much more laid back, and she got better results. And then, you know, again, she kicked butt. So she's still training, and she was really, losing my voice, really awesome. And then they sat down to do her interview. So she was kind of up at the stage to the right-hand side. Then she came over and they sat down and they asked her to stand up and lift her abs up. Or lift her shirt up to show her abs. Seriously, that woman is just ripped. You could see it. And, you know, granted, she is, you know, doing an excessive amount of training. She's in training right now. She has to be at like 10% body fat. It's obscene. I mean, you're just like... but anyway, so it was awesome. I had to buy the book. I will have to go through my goodie bag to see what I got here. Oh, here's all of the Eucerin samples we got, which I will go through a little bit of those later, because I had no idea. Look at all the products they have. They have baby products, calming body wash, full body, smoothing aroma essentials, calming itch relief, moisturizing cream, calming, gentle wash. I'll check it all out. I gotta look at all my other goodies. Fun stuff. But I'm definitely gonna try to go to the More Reinvention Convention next year too. Oh, look, I got a little journal too. I love presents. So, there's that. You guys have a good rest of the day. I am going to work out, and then I swear to God, I'm going to go to bed as soon as possible, because I'm exhausted, and I'm supposed to go to maybe Milwaukee tomorrow, Detroit on Wednesday, and then I think I might actually take the last 2 days of this week off and take a break, because I honestly, I think I've been in my house 3 days over the past month. I'm exhausted and I'm so behind, totally behind. I mean, if you could see my office, I keep coming home from a trip, and here's what I do. Like, I take a big stack of this stuff I'm already at 9:55 again. I gotta go. See you later.